What is up guys, welcome back to the channel. As we have almost come to the end of this month, which means it's time for us to check out another episode of top 10 newly released free-to-play games that you can play right now on the month of September. You guys might remember the last month video, we actually got some decent free-to-play games to check out, but I gotta say man, this month is jam-packed with some great free-to-play titles. I would say probably the best month we had so far, especially considering the number of free-to-play games releases. As always, all the games that I'm gonna mention in this video are completely free to play right now and available to download on Steam. So we got a lot to cover in today's video guys, so sit back, relax and let's get right into it. Alright guys, starting today's video with a very special game that I really want to mention, and it's a game called Viva Here Expedition The Friendship. It's not technically a free-to-play game, but if you claim this awesome adventure puzzle game before the 13th of October, the game is yours to keep forever, which means you can download and try out whenever you want. So if you're watching this video right now before the 13th of October, please log into your Steam account and search the game on Steam and just add it to your library. And I think the deal is pretty much same for the PlayStation as well as on Xbox. So don't miss out this chance, make sure to claim the game right now so you can enjoy it later. And it's an awesome little puzzle adventure game where you can play with another partner on co-op, which is really awesome. So definitely go ahead and check out the game and make sure to add the game before the 13th of October. Alright, next up we got a pretty cool looking brand new free-to-play casual first-person shooter game called The Rifleman. It's a really fun free-to-play casual shooter with this beautiful low-poly style graphics and representing the World War II with some casual game modes like team deathmatch and some historical bolt action weapons. It's still a very new game to the Steam and honestly not a lot of people know about the game right now, so you might have a hard time finding matches, but hopefully this thing will sort it out in the future. Anyway, it's a fun game. Right now the game is only have like 178 reviews and most of them are mixed reviews. System requirements are also pretty acceptable as well. Alright, next up we got a brand new free-to-play sports game that just released onto the Steam as an early access title a couple of days ago, and it's a game called Metaball. Metaball is a free-to-play fast-paced multiplayer sports game where you simply play basketball on a hoverboard, which is super cool in my opinion. The game has super fast-paced movement combined with this beautiful cartoonish graphic style, and you get a fun casual game for absolutely free. Right now the game represents few game modes. You can play either single player with bots or you can play PvP rank mode, as well as a dedicated training map, quick matches and different challenges as well. And completing matches will grant you in-game currency which you can use to customize your character, and there are a lot of fun customization things that you can do. Overall, it's a really fun casual sports game to try out. The game is still very new to the Steam, only having like 14 reviews and most of them are mixed right now, and the system requirements are honestly not that heavy, pretty acceptable as well. If you're looking for a super fun, brand new free-to-play third-person shooter game to try out, our next game is definitely your best option, and it is a game called Microvolts Recharge. It's a really fun, fast-paced, free-to-play third-person shooter with anime-style characters and very goofy-looking weapons like RPGs, crossbows, and miniguns. Other than that, you will also get your typical weapons like rifles, shotguns, sniper rifles, and SMGs. And one of the cool features is that you can basically carry all the weapons at the same time, so you can change your weapons depending on the situation. And the game represents very much casual game modes like team deathmatch and free for all, but on top of that the game has a vast collection of maps to choose from, so you never feel like you're playing the same map over and over again. Right now the game is very popular on Steam, having close to like 1500 reviews, and most of them are right now at mostly positive, and the system requirements are also very much acceptable in 2023. Alright, next up at number 6 we got another awesome free-to-play sports game called STG Football. So it's basically a free-to-play multiplayer casual sports game representing American football, but I gotta be honest guys, it is a sport that I'm honestly not that familiar with, but seems to me it's a very fun casual football game which heavily focuses on the real-time strategy and the teamwork. So it's primarily a multiplayer game supporting unique 4v4 gameplay, and the game also does support officially licensed team and players, which is another cool addition. Right now the game is only having like 80 reviews on Steam, most of them are mostly positive reviews. System requirements are also very much acceptable, and the download size is also around just 400 megabytes, so definitely give it a try if you're looking for a fun casual sports game. Alright guys, before moving on to the top 5 games, if you enjoyed the video so far, please go ahead and drop a like on the video and also subscribe because we cover tons of free to play games on our channel, so drop a like and a sub, much appreciated. If you're someone who particularly enjoying single-player story-driven action games, we got an awesome little single-player game that just went free to play, and it is a game called Lonely Night. This game was actually a paid game since the release way back in 2022, but actually a couple of days ago the developers announced the game is going to be free to play from here on out, so everybody can download and enjoy without any additional cost, which is always nice. Anyway, the Lonely Night is a story-driven immersive single-player action-adventure game set in this medieval ancient era where you play as a character called Tristan, who is in a path to avenge his wife. The game has a very nice single player story combined with fast-paced combat and pretty brutal enemy encounters. This game is highly recommended, especially if you're someone who enjoying single player story, so definitely worth give it a try. Right now the game is only having like 32 reviews and most of them are mostly positive, and visually the game looks absolutely amazing, but the system requirements are not that heavy, very much acceptable in 2023. Alright guys, next up we got a brand new, very interesting looking platformer game, but I recommend you guys to try the game out only if you're up for a super challenging experience, and this is a game called The Hardest Game Ever. And as the name suggests guys, do not expect anything less than that. The game is going to be super difficult, but if you're up for a challenge, it's one of the best precision platformer 2D games that you can try out right now. I did try the game out earlier and it is a super difficult game, but I would say it's not as difficult as something like Super Meat Boy, but overall I like my platformer to be more casual, but if you're up for a challenge, definitely give it a try. Right now the game is only having like 70 reviews on Steam and most of them are very positive, and you absolutely don't have to worry about the system requirements. This game can even run with a very low-end system. Alright, next up we got a brand new free-to-play co-op shooter that had a lot of hype around before the launch, and that is a game called Synced. So it's a brand new free-to-play third-person co-op shooter set in this futuristic post-apocalyptic world where you play as a runner who joined the war against these deadly creatures called nanos inside this sealed exclusion zone known as Meridian. It's a game that heavily focuses on the co-op gameplay where you and your team has to drop into the matches with both has PvP and PvE elements, and this game reminds me of some of the other post-apocalyptic shooters that we have, the games like Shatterline and a little bit of Cycle Frontier as well. Overall the game has a very decent story, engaging combat, and visually the game is absolutely on a next level. But I gotta say, after the release the game did not receive the most positive reception from the community. Right now the game is having close to like 3,000 reviews on Steam. Right now they are sitting at mixed reviews, and the game also have very acceptable system requirements, pretty much the standard in 2023. If you're someone who's relatively up to date with any free-to-play games on Steam, our next game is definitely not come as a surprise for you, and it is a game called King of Crabs. Yes, the game was previously available as an early access title on Steam and it was very popular, and I'm super happy to say the game is finally available as a full release game on Steam. King of Crabs is a free-to-play battle royale game where you can play with up to 100 other players online. And guys, how many games that let you play as a crab? I mean, this game is very unique and very fun. There is a massive island and a lot to be explored here, and you scrap, scavenge and slaughter your way through the waves of crustaceans and try to finally be the kings of crab. Very fun game, right now having more than 8,000 plus reviews on Steam, and they're sitting at mostly positive reviews. System requirements are honestly not that demanding. You can even play this game with a very low-end system. Alright guys, before moving on to the number 1 spot, I also gotta mention a bonus game that we had the chance to try out during this month, and that is a game called The First Descendant. So it's a free-to-play third-person looter shooter action RPG type of a game which is going to be released in the early 2024, and I had the chance to try out the open beta during the last week. If you want to check out some gameplay and my first impression about the game, definitely go ahead and check out my previous video. The link will be available in the description. Alright guys, at number 1 spot we got a super impressive medieval fantasy fighting game called Warhammer. This is a game I really wanted to check out for a very long time, and I'm super happy to say the game is finally available on Steam. It's a very decent game, but after playing for a few hours I kinda have mixed feelings about the game. I'm planning to do a full review very soon, but in the meantime I gotta say it's a very solid game, even though it needs some definite improvements when it comes to gameplay. But I enjoyed the game a lot during my playtime simply because of this beautiful medieval fantasy world which I'm super fan of. I think the game is very unique and very rare to see such a game on a free-to-play market, and the gameplay and the settings remind me of the games like For Honor, which is also a pretty popular title from Ubisoft. Anyway, it's a very unique game and definitely have some great potential to improve, and if you're someone who enjoys these type of medieval fighting games, I recommend you guys to give it a try. Right now the game is having more than 3,700 plus reviews on Steam. Right now they are sitting at mixed category. System requirements are somewhat higher compared to most of the other games, but I would say it's pretty acceptable in 2023. Well, that's pretty much wrap up the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found some great free-to-play single-player and multiplayer games to try out during the month of September. And let me know down below what is your favorite game from today's list. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed the video so far, please go ahead and drop a like on the video and also subscribe because we cover tons of free-to-play games on our channel. I'll catch you guys soon in my next video. Stay safe.